Hi, welcome. I'm Mary and I hook books. I crochet things inspired by books, mostly science fiction, a little bit of fantasy, mystery thriller, and whatever genres I feel like picking up that day. I am going to tell you about all the books that I hooked in January. It was a very productive month, so let's go. I read 17 books and I think I DNF'd 16. So I had a 4.0 general average, but after a bunch of DNFs, I needed a comfort read. I needed something I knew I would enjoy. So I picked up the 10th Chronicles of St. Mary's, Hope for the Best, and they go back and visit Queen Mary, Queen of Scots, and make sure that her history doesn't get all messed up. And this is the 10th in the series. I love the Chronicles of St. Mary. This had a lot of really fun, great character work, and it had a culmination of some of the overarching, multi-book plots in it, and overall, it was just the read that I needed. Craven Manor by Darcy Coates. I loved this main character. He was too good to live, and I like how Darcy Coates writes her characters, and the real horror is capitalism and family. I enjoy her themes. We have a down on his luck, just sweet cinnamon roll of a guy who gets an invitation to become the caretaker at Craven Manor. And found family and horror ensue. I really enjoyed this. It's an interesting take on a haunted manor, and of course, haunted manors have to have the obligatory black cat. 6 Feet Deep Dish is about a girl who moves to a small resort town in Wisconsin, and she opens a Chicago-style deep dish pizza restaurant. But because it's a cozy mystery, murder ensues, and she has to get in the middle of it, but she also has a lot going on in her life. So I do like that. She had a lot of life and friends and stuff going on that was not her boyfriend and was also not the main mystery. So this is not the most amazing cozy mystery, but I am looking forward to where the series goes. And she has a big orange cat named Butterball. Breathless is about a journalist who is invited to get an interview with a famous mountaineer, but only if she can summit this mountain. And she goes into what it's like on these mountaineering expeditions, like the human aspect. And there is something that just feels off, but is it just that men suck and this is a male-dominated field where women are generally not that welcome? This was very slow. I was not really jiving. I was enjoying what it was saying, but I wasn't enjoying the journey until about 85%, and then I could not put it down. So if you are interested in mountaineering and the 8,000 meter peaks, maybe pick this one up. It is a slow but interesting mystery. And of course, every trek starts in India or Nepal or China, so we have some prayer flags. Deep Night is the first in a series of urban fantasy detective noir, and this was very creepy. That is why I kept reading. The woman with the red umbrella, it was very creepy. The actual story fell a little bit flat for me. I felt like it could have done with some more editing. It was fairly short and not a bad way to spend a Sunday afternoon, but I'm not sure I'm going to continue. I just have better fantasy detective noirs, which is an oddly specific genre. But I did enjoy making this bag and our ghost with the red umbrella. Video Night, an alien invasion story, does what it says on the tin. If you enjoy Stranger Things, a lot of 80s nostalgia, 80s slasher horror alien invasion films, this will probably hit the spot for you. I am not that into that. I did appreciate some of the horror elements, but especially the end kind of fell flat for me. So it was a pretty decent ride, but I gave it a 2.75. And of course, the alien invasion, I had to make a face hugger. In the After is another alien invasion story, but I liked this one a lot more. Not a lot of people survive this initial invasion. It does not go well. And then we have almost like zombie vibes. They're not like normal aliens, so I thought that was a really cool cross-genre decision. We have kind of Quiet Place vibes because you can attract these alien zombie monster things with noise primarily. And then we do have a really great found family element. We have a, like, what would you do to rebuild society element. I really enjoyed that. I have requested the second book from the library. I do want to continue. I did really enjoy this, and I have been just like so into color work. Especially, I think, no, this is a single or half double crochet. But if you're unaware, this means I love you in sign language. And on the back, I have a rainbow heart. I ran out of beige yarn, but if I ever get around to finishing this, I will put probably like a rainbow border around it and maybe donate it to the Hope House. And then of course we had Winterween. I am wearing my Winterween Bloodbath shirt. And I made this Bloodbath inspired blanket. I read Bitten. The prompt was like a werewolf on the cover. This is a YA romantasy that I actually kind of dug. I am interested in continuing the series. I liked that her primary motivation was her friendship, and the other stuff just kind of came as a result of that. I also listened to Invisible Giant, and this is a short story by Bram Stoker. Meh. If I was still in college, I probably would write an essay about it because it's so deep and has so much symbolism. As an enjoyable story, meh. You Killed Me First. The prompt was read on the cover or read a thriller or horror, and this is a thriller by John Mars. I tend to love especially his more recent works. We have a washed up pop star trying to like, no, I'm still relevant, I'm still pretty, I'm still the queen bee, and the new neighbor who actually is the queen bee, and they're intersecting pasts. So I really did enjoy this. It wasn't utterly perfect, but a solid 4.5. Really enjoyed it. Out of House and Home, one of the utterly uninteresting unadventures of Fred, the vampire accountant. I loved it so much, and I think I had DNF'd like 4 books before just picking this one up. This is obviously about a vampire, so very on theme for Bloodbath, Winterween Readathon. And this, just the found family coziness, but also the, like, monster mash and, like, dueling vampire covens of it all. 5 stars, absolutely love it. Not every book in this series is 5 stars, but this was, and this is, a 5-star series. Death Before Wicket is a Phryne Fisher mystery. This takes Phryne out of Melbourne, where she normally lives, and she's been called to Sydney, which is a bit of a bigger city. I imagine it's kind of like going from Chicago to New York. Melbourne is big, but not as big as Sydney. But we take her out of her element, so this is a more stripped down mystery. It's just her and her companion. She's brought in on a theft case, but then she ends up on a missing persons case. And she did promise her companion no murder. And there was no murder. Well, there was. But, like, that was not Phryne's fault. The main things were missing persons and a theft. And this was quintessential Phryne Fisher. I also loved that she discovered pockets in this book. And it is so funny. Pockets are very political. So I actually sewed a pocket into one of my totes, so I don't have it with me, but it was just like a little scrap thing, and pockets are amazing. I picked up Briardark. I think because it had a skull on the cover, and that was a reading prompt this month. And I immediately picked up the second book. We're in the mountains. Something happened to an expedition years ago, and now we're going to figure out some ecological climate change stuff and somehow end up in a dark dimension. I thought this was a duology, and I'm really mad that the third book does not come out until later this year, and I will be picking it up. I liked the pacing, I liked the characters, the world is really weird and creepy, so I'm like, I need to know. I need the third book, like right now. As if the authors that we're gonna see this. But because of the skulls on the cover, I made little flower skulls. The family experiment takes place in the near future, where the metaverse has come a long way, virtual reality, and you can raise a child in the metaverse. So they pick 5 couples, or 4 couples and 1 single man, to raise these meta children. And if you win this reality TV show, you get to either take all this money or keep your virtual child. And this was such an interesting thought experiment, and the background of these characters was really interesting. If you have any kind of like childhood trauma, like check some trigger warnings, but I really liked this. I liked how everything weaved together. I loved the thought experiment. I really enjoyed some of the character work. And we're raising virtual babies, so I had to make a little baby head. And I realized that my microphone was in like 5 different places, so hopefully the audio on this is not totally jacked up. And my neighbors are throwing a Super Bowl party, and my air conditioner has been coming on because it's 75 degrees inside because I live in Texas in February. So hopefully that was not too distracting. And hopefully you pick up some of these books or crochet projects. As always, the patterns are all free and they will be in the description box below. Let me know what you've been reading, what you've been crocheting or otherwise crafting. Please take care of yourself, take care of each other, and as always, keep your shoulders back, your heads up, and breathe.